good morning to everyone present here, particularly all the students of grade 8 who have joined us to watch the finals of Sangam 2021, the Interhouse Quiz. And we are delighted to be here this morning because this is the last event of Sangam 2021. And actually, there's a tinge of regret in my heart because it's coming to a close, but we've had a fantastic 4 days of events. Before that, I think all of you have participated wholeheartedly in sending over your recordings and videos. And without further ado, let's launch into the quiz finals of Sangam 2021. I'm delighted to have with me Arpana ma'am and Shreya ma'am, who will be keeping scores and checking on time. And Mrs. Prasad is here, obviously, to help me wherever I stray and if I lose track, because sometimes that happens to quiz masters. And we have Kaushik sir, who is very kindly looking after the technicals. Sir is in school and he is looking after the entire technical presentation for the quiz. So before we start, just a few basic ground rules for everyone to follow so that we have a very smooth sailing. All those who are in the audience, kindly do not unmute yourselves at any point of time while the quiz is happening, because then that will disturb the 16 participants who are representing the four houses this morning. And for all the participants from the four houses, certain rules for you to follow as well. Please keep yourselves muted right throughout the quiz. After I ask a question, I will request you, if you know the answer, to use the raise hand button. And as soon as we see the raise hand button from your house, either Mrs. Prasad or I will call out your name and then you unmute yourself and give me the answer. Arpana ma'am and Shreya ma'am, for a correct answer, it is plus 10. For a bonus, it is plus 5. All questions will move for a bonus, and without any more time wasting, I think we can start. The 16 participants from Brahmaputra, Ganga, Indus, and Yamuna. Do you have any questions which you would like to ask me before we start? Then this is the best time. If you have any doubts, please ask me, children.
Ma'am, Aryan.
Yes,
Aryan,
Aryan?
Yes, ma'am. Like, ma'am, somehow by mistake, suppose you said the wrong answer. So, will there be negative mark?
Aryan, I know. Very good question, Aryan. There won't be any negative marking. However, I will treat the first answer that I get from your house as the only answer I will take. If it is right, you get plus 10. If it is wrong, it moves to the next house. Is that
Okay,
okay,
ma'am.
Aryan?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Noirit, you had raised your hand. You have a question for me?
Ma'am, I have the same question, ma'am. I get the answer. Thank you.
Same question. No problem. Okay. So then let's begin.
ma'am,
All right.
Ajita.
Yes, Ajita?
Ma'am, is discussion allowed?
No, Ajita. No discussion is allowed. Just raise hand. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Right.
Ma'am,
Uh,
also that we won't give them time. They'll have to give the answer instantly.
right. After I finish the question, I will pose it to you and immediately you need to move with the raise hand. All right? Okay. So we'll begin with round one. We will proceed in the alphabetical order in round one. So we'll begin with Brahmaputra house, followed by Ganga, then Indus, and then Yamuna. Second round, we will go anti-clockwise, children. Okay, so the first round of Sangam 2021 quiz finals coming up on your screen. This is the flavor of the season. As we speak, India is winning laurels, and we have just had a very proud moment just last evening because the news came of the wrestling champ who won a silver. So it's been a good going for us, and also the hockey team, the Indian men's hockey team, has come up with a bronze after 41 years. We last won in 1980, so why not go with the flavor of the season? So this round is on sports and Olympics. All right, the first question coming for Brahmaputra House. Next slide. On 20th July 2021, the International Olympic Committee approved a change in the Olympic motto to show solidarity around the globe and recognize the unifying power of sport. What is the current motto of the Olympic Games? Ajita, go for it.
Faster, higher, stronger?
Is that your complete answer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I pass to Ganga because that was the old motto. Ganga House, it's your question for the bonus. Anyone raising hand?
Ma'am, Arikta.
Arikta, are you part of the team?
Ma'am, no, ma'am.
No. Arikta, please mute yourself. Yes. The
Ma'am,
four members of
Indrakshi.
Ma'am,
Ganga
it's
House.
Indrakshi.
Indrakshi, please go for it.
Faster, higher, stronger, and together.
Excellent answer, Indrakshi. Opening scores for Ganga House this morning. She has given us the new motto, which has been inducted from 2021. Earlier, it was just faster, higher, stronger. Now they have included a very, very important word that is vital for all of us in today's day and age. Whatever we do together. So, +5 for Ganga House. The next question coming up on screen for you, Ganga House. What is common to the following sports with reference to the Tokyo Olympics? And you have the images of the sports on your left: karate, surfing, skateboarding, and sport climbing.
Ma'am, it's Orcayu.
Is he part of the team, ma'am?
Ma'am, um,
Yes, ma'am.
yes,
Or Kayu, go for it, please.
ma'am. My answer is that all of them are new to the Olympics and they were not there before.
Excellent answer, Orkayu. You get a +10 for your house. These four sports, karate, surfing, skateboarding, and sport climbing, have been inducted into the list of games in this year's Olympics at Tokyo. +10 to Ganga House. Great going, Ganga House. The next question going to Indus, coming up on your screen. Connect the following sports: fencing, 200 meters freestyle swimming, show jumping, pistol shooting, and the 3,200-meter cross-country run. How can we connect these four sports as part of the Olympics? It's Indus's direct question. Any answers, Indus House? Or else we pass? Go for it. There's no negative marking. You can always try and give us an answer.
Ma'am, it's Arush.
Arush, try please.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, fencing, 200-meter freestyle swimming, then show jumping, then 3,200-meter cross country run and
Yes,
pistol
they
shoot.
are all written over there on the screen. How do we connect these five, Arush? How do we connect these five?
Ma'am, all of them are speed sports?
No, Prisha, I will not take that. The question passes to Yamuna House. Yamuna House, do you have any answer for me?
Ma'am,
Yes, Aditi, go for it.
are they all part of the modern pentathlon?
Louder, Aditi, I lost you at the end.
Are they all part of the modern pentathlon?
The pentathlon, that's right. You get a +5, Aditi. These five sports are part of the pentathlon that is fought in the Olympic Games. So a sports person not only has to be proficient in fencing, but also in swimming, in show jumping on the horse, in pistol shooting, and running like a good marathon runner. Well done, Aditi. That's a +5 going to your house. The next question going to Yamuna House. Let's see what's coming up on screen for you now. Elaine Thompson Hera won the gold medal in the women's 100 meters event, breaking a 33-year-old Olympic record, which was set in the Seoul Olympics. Whose record did Elaine break? Question is Yamuna Houses. Any answers? And Yamuna?
Ma'am, women's race.
Whose record did she break? That's your question, Aditi. It's obviously 100 meters flat race. All right, question passing to Brahmaputra. Any answers from Brahmaputra?
Ma'am, Ajita.
Ajita, go for it, child.
Florence Griffith Joyner.
Absolutely. And do you know how she was popularly known, Ajita? That's her
No,
full name? No?
no.
Well, she's of our times, so you wouldn't know, but she was known as Flojo. You're
Yes,
absolutely
ma'am.
right. Elaine broke the record that was held by Florence Griffith Joyner for 33 years. That's no main feat, but it was broken this year. So +5 going to Brahmaputra House. The next question coming up for Brahmaputra House, keep your eyes on the screen. Next slide, sir. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen all these four logos. They're very, very common. The Australian Open, Roland Garros in France, then the Wimbledon Championship, and then you have the US Open. These are possibly the four most important professional tennis tournaments held in the world. Collectively, what are they called? Brahmaputra,
Ma'am,
it's yours.
it's Ryan.
Ryan, thank you,
Ma'am, the
ma'am. Ryan,
Grand
it's
Slam
yours.
tournament.
Excellent, Ryan. Welcome back to the quiz of 2021. I remember you being in the finals last year, Ryan, and it's lovely to see you back. And I still remember you giving me the answer, which was the clincher, the last answer for Boxing Day last year. So, welcome back, Ryan. That was brilliantly done. And that was your direct. So, +10 going to Brahmaputra House. It's known as the Grand Slam. Just an aside question, no marks, but can anybody tell me if, and this was a huge thing this year for Novak Djokovic, if Djokovic had won all these four, which he has, and then he would win in the Olympics, what is that called?
Ma'am, he would have come. Ma'am, can I say?
Yes, yes, Orko, go ahead.
Ma'am, he would have
Orkayu.
completed a gold. Ma'am, he would have completed a golden calendar slam and defeated Steffi Graf's record.
Superb answer, Orkayu. That's brilliant. If you weren't in the team, I don't know, I think I would have given you 100 points. That's a perfect answer, as we would call.
Ma'am,
That's right.
just
Yes,
ma'am, what but ma'am, the unfortunate thing is he lost at the Olympics, so unfortunately he can't complete it now.
absolutely right, Orkayu. You're on top of the Olympics and the sports. That's wonderful to see. You're absolutely right. Djokovic lost out in the semifinals.
Or
As
he didn't even
everyone
win the
had
bronze medal.
right, everyone had tipped him for the Golden Slam,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Orkayu gave, as I said, a perfect answer. He would have broken the beautiful, gracious, graceful Steffi Graf's record on the field, but it
Ma'am,
wasn't to
ma'am,
be.
actually he can still get the calendar slam if he wins the US Open. So it's not the end of
Let's
the whole.
hope for him
Yes,
because
ma'am.
Djokovic is a very, very dear favorite on the tennis court for me
Yes, ma'am.
personally.
Right.
The next question now coming up for Ganga House. There's someone coming up on your screen. Who is this guy and why was he in the news recently? Ganga House, it's your question. Yes, Orka, you go for it.
Yes, ma'am. It was a new Bengali player called Samir Banerjee who won the Wimbledon's boys this time, like junior Wimbledon.
I think Orkayu knows his sports like the back of his hand. That's a +10 for Orkayu for his house all over again. He is spot on. It's a Bengali born abroad, a boy by the name of Shomir Banerjee, and Shomir Banerjee won the boys' championship at Wimbledon this year. Fantastic going, Orkayu. Well done.
Ma'am,
The
actually, I'm
next
a very big
question,
tennis fan. That's why I know a lot about tennis.
lovely. Then it's great going for you this morning. The next question now coming up on screen for Indus. Arush Prisha, it's your question. Argentina defeated hosts Brazil 1-0 in the finals of the 2021 Copa America Football Championship. Who scored the winning goal?
Ma'am,
Angela,
Aryaman.
Aryaman, are you
ma'am,
part of the team?
yes, ma'am.
Great going. Go, Aryaman. What should the answer be?
Ma'am, Angela Di Maria.
Oh, Aryaman knows his football very well. Well done, Aryaman. That's a +10 for you. That is indeed Angela D. Maria. +10 for Indus House. The last question of this round going to Yamuna now.
Ma'am, Aryaman needs to put his hand raised down.
Aryaman, remove the raise hand, please. Well done, boy. Italy defeated England in an exciting penalty shootout to be crowned the European champions. Where was this epic final match held? I think all the football lovers were glued to their televisions for the Euro Cup. So, where were the finals held? Yamuna, it's your direct question.
Ma'am, it's Noirit.
Noirit, please give me the answer if you know. Yes, Samara.
Ma'am, in London,
I need the place, Samara.
like the stadium name.
That's right.
I think it's Wembley Stadium in London.
Absolutely correct, Samara. That gets you a
Ma'am, sorry,
+10
I
for
was
your
removed.
house.
Ma'am, sorry,
It's the
very sorry,
Wembley
ma'am.
Stadium in London, England, and that's where the Euro finals were held this year. +10 for Yamuna House. That brings us to the end of round one. Shreya ma'am, may I request you to give us the scores at the end of round one?
After round 1, Brahmaputra is at point 15, Ganga is at 25, Indus is at 10 points, and Yamuna is at 15 points.
Very well done, I must say, for all four houses at the end of the first round based on Olympics and sports. Before we move to round two, I always keep an audience question in our quizzes. So here's a question coming up from the audience. Anyone in the audience can raise hand and take it. Next slide, sir. Who's she? We know who she is, but which event did she win the silver medal for India for?
Can I
Millions
answer?
of hands have gone up.
Ma'am, can I answer?
Ma'am,
Ma'am, can I get?
Snehanuraj. Snehanuraj.
Okay, Sneha Raj, you were one of the first, so can you answer?
Yes, ma'am. She won in 47 kgs weightlifting.
Right, Mirabai Chanu, who is now a national name. Before this, no one even knew of her besides her own people in Manipur. But today, not only is she a national icon, but she's made India famous in the Olympic Games by getting the silver medal in weightlifting. So, well done, children. Now we move to round two, and we will now go anti-clockwise. And remember, this round will only have 4 questions, and it's all to do with current affairs, what is happening in the news now. So, Yamuna House, your question coming up on screen. Connect the following films. What is common to the following?
Ma'am, it's Indrakshi.
Indrakshi, go for it, please.
Ma'am, Indrakshi is from Ganga
Ma'am,
House.
Indrakshi
Oh,
is not in
Indrakshi,
Yamuna House.
it's not your question, it's Yamuna's question. Yamuna House, it's your question.
Indrakshi, please. Yeah.
Yes,
Ma'am, it's
Noiri?
Noiri.
Ma'am, these four films are connected by love, ma'am. These are love stories, ma'am.
Oh, you're saying these are all love stories. Well, you're not wrong, but that is not the answer we are looking for. It passes to Indus.
Ma'am, can I?
Yes, Prisha, go for it.
Ma'am, all of them have the veteran and late actor Dilip Kumar.
Brilliant answer, Prisha. He just passed away a couple of months ago. And these are all iconic films of the veteran actor Dilip Kumar, or as he was known as Yusuf Khan. That was his original name. So +5 to Indus House. Indus House, the next question is coming up on screen for you now. Identify this famous person we see in the picture, and you also need to tell me why was he in the news lately? Yes,
Ma'am,
or Tayu?
it's
Oh,
Aryaman.
okay. Oh,
Aryaman.
Aryaman. Sorry, Aryaman.
Ma'am is Jeff Bezos.
and he was recently in the news for like saying he wanted to view Earth from like the space.
He only wanted to view, or did he do something else?
Um, I'm not totally like, remember it, but like that's the only part I remember.
Okay, I think I'll give you +5 for the name. And now let's shift to Ganga House and see if they can give me the latter part of the answer. Why was he in the news lately, Ganga House?
Ma'am, Indrakshi has it.
Indrakshi, please go for it.
He went to space.
Okay, not only did he go to space, but he's also encouraging others to take holidays on space. And he is willing to even sponsor some of these trips. So +5 to Ganga House for
And
that.
space tourism. And basically, space tourism is starting for Jeff Bezos.
That's right, Orkayu. Well said. He is encouraging space tourism, and possibly that's going to be the future of the world, right? Because man is now wanting to go out and conquer space, even. Right. The next question, going to
Ma'am,
Ganga House.
yeah.
Sorry, yes, ma'am.
Prisha had her hand raised, but she's put it down.
No, that
Okay,
was a
ma'am.
mistake. Sorry.
No problem, Prisha. Thank you, ma'am. The next question now going to Ganga. The last Nawab of Awadh, his 199th birth anniversary was observed recently, made Mityaburuz his home. And the reason why you have that picture is because his name is synonymous with the Kolkata biryani. Who are we talking about? Indrakshi.
Wajid Ali Shah.
Superb answer. You win my heart, because if you name Nawab from the past correctly, then that warms the cockles of my heart, because after all, I'm a lover of history. It's none other than Nawab Wajid Ali Shah. +10 to Ganga House. Great going, Ganga. The next question coming up on screen now for Brahmaputra.
Brahmaputra.
This man was recently in the news. We lost him, and there has been worldwide protests about his death. Who is this famous journalist that we lost? Brahmaputra, it's your direct.
Ma'am, it should pass.
Yes, ma'am. Yamuna, it passes to you. Yamuna House. Anyone taking it?
Aditi has her hand raised.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Aditi?
Ma'am, Danish Siddiqui.
It's Danish Siddiqui. That's right, Aditi. You get a +5 for your house. And he was this famous journalist who was brutally murdered. And there have been worldwide protests about his fearless, courageous writing and the attempt by the government to stifle his voice. So that's Danish Siddiqui. Unfortunately, the world has lost yet another fearless man. And it seems as if their numbers are growing as we speak. That brings us to the end of this round. But before we look at the scores, I have a question for the audience. Next slide, sir. A winged horse in Greek mythology that sprang from the blood of the Gorgon Medusa. Why has this been in the news lately? Ma'am,
May I?
This is not for
no,
the
this is not for
participants.
the participants. This is for the audience. So participants, please switch off your raise hands. Audience question.
Ma'am,
So
it's
anyone.
Ishan De. Ishan De.
Ishan, do you know the answer for this?
Ma'am, Pegasus spyware.
That's right, the Pegasus spyware. So you have a bit of Greek mythology here for you. Pegasus was actually the winged horse that was born from the blood of Medusa.
Ma'am,
That brings it.
if I may add, a funny fact is in the Greek mythology, Pegasus is actually a good character, but here it's being used in a negative way. So it's quite ironic.
Lovely, Arkayu. That's a very nice sharing that you've done, because quizzing is always about learning, and I always encourage that. That's well done. All right, now may I request Shreya ma'am to please tell us the scores at the end of round 2?
After round 2, Brahmaputra is still at point 15, Ganga is at point 40, Indus is at 20, and Yamuna is at 20.
Well, it's still early days because we've just completed round 2 of the quiz. And as we move into the next round, this is for particularly
Excuse me,
for
ma'am.
the, yes, Noidi?
Ma'am, actually, I want to say something about this Pegasus color, ma'am. That, ma'am, in the Greece, till today, ma'am, in the peace day, ma'am, they used to, means at that day, they have a temporary color, white color. They used to paint their house with that for 1 or 2 days. Is stay, ma'am. So, ma'am, here the white color for the Pegasus is also for a piece, ma'am. It's like a piece. But the
Right.
spyware is not a part of
That's
piece, ma'am.
right.
That's
Absolutely right. Thank you for the sharing, Noiri. Now, for the 16 participants, you need to hear what I have to say very, very carefully about round 3, because round 3 is composed differently. I would request the participants to please keep a pen and paper next to you, because this round will need a bit of working out in your head.
Ma'am, will
You
pencil
see,
work?
yes, absolutely. You see, here, every answer that you will get has a clue in it, or rather a letter. And there are going to be 8 questions in this round, and every answer will throw up a letter to you. You have to connect those letters to give you the name of a famous Indian personality. And as you can see, it's all connected to films. So this is a film round. Okay. So I'm repeating for your clarity. Every answer, the questions are direct questions. Every answer will give you a letter from the answer. And that letter will be flashed on the screen for you to note down. Okay. And it's a double round. So you will get a total of 8 questions. And those letters should add up to somebody's name. 16 participants, is it clear, or do I need to explain anything further? Okay.
Ma'am, if we can tell them that the letters are in scrambled order.
Yes, the letters are not in order, children. So the word is scrambled. I mean, as in if my name is Priyadarshini, then Priyadarshini will not come as Priy in that order in the questions. Okay, it will come all mixed up. So you have to be clear about that. One more thing, children. During the course of the 8 questions, you can raise hand and when I give you permission, unmute yourself and give me the name of the personality. Say by the 4th one you have figured it out. Here there is a rider, like you have in mathematics. If your answer is right, I will give you a plus 50, 50. But if your answer is wrong, you get a minus 20 for your house. This is the only negative marking in the entire quiz, but as they say, this is a huge gamble. So it has been structured this way for you. Yes, Samara, you had your... Yes, Orkayu. Yes, Orkayu?
Ma'am, it's basically like no risk, no gain here.
Okay. Samara, you had a question?
No, ma'am, this was only the question.
Right. So it's any time during the course of the 8 questions, you can raise hand. I will call out. And then you tell me that, ma'am, I want to give the big answer. Then if it's right, it's a plus 50 for your house. If it's wrong, sadly, then it's a minus 20. Okay. So now going in. Yes, ma'am.
If the personality, no negative marking for the direct questions.
No, not at all. It's only for the big answer of the 8-letter word. Yes, Prisha, you had a question?
Ma'am, we will have part markings also, right? Like for the 8 questions?
No, that we will go normal. Plus 10, plus 5. No minus marking over there. Okay? So Brahmaputra House, the first question coming up for you on screen. This is an iconic film. And I want you to name the film from where this poster has been taken. It's a Bengali film. And the actress over there is Madhavi Mukherjee. Brahmaputra, it's your direct question.
Ma'am, it's Ajita.
Ajita, go for it, please.
Charulata?
Are you asking me, Ajita? Or
No,
you
ma'am,
telling?
I'm telling.
You're telling me. All right, Ajita, you get a plus 10 for that. And coming out from here is the first letter. Kaushik sir, next slide. Yes, from Charulata, all four houses, you get the T. Is it clear, children? Shall I move? Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ganga house, your next question is yours. Before joining films, how did the legendary Bengali film actor Soumitra Chatterjee begin his career? What did he do before joining films? Ganga House, it's your question. As I said, this is a film round, OTT platform. It's going to be a mixed bag over there.
Ma'am, it's
Ganga?
Indrakshi. It's
Yes,
Indrakshi.
Indrakshi. Please go for
He
it.
was a radio announcer.
He was a radio announcer. And where did he work? What is the company
All
called?
India Radio.
Brilliant answer, Indrakshi. He worked in the All India Radio as an announcer. So what is the letter we are getting from this answer? Kaushik sir, next slide. So you get an A. So you've got a T and you've got an A. The next question going to Indus. Who composed the soundtrack and the music score of the famous film Pather Panchali, directed by Satyajit Ray? The question is Indus House. It's for Indus House, rather. Anyone from Indus wanting to take a guess?
Ma'am, the other houses should not raise their hands at
Don't
this
raise
time. It
hands, children.
causes
It
confusion.
confuses us.
It
Yes,
causes
Prisha.
confusion.
Yes, Prisha. Go for it.
Ma'am,
Prisha?
Pandit Ravi Shankar.
Brilliant answer, Prisha, for your house. It's plus 10 for Indus, none other than the grand sitarist Pandit Ravi Shankar composed the music for this iconic Ray film. What letter are we getting from here, sir? Let's see. So you get another A. The next question going to Yamuna House. Here is your direct. Soumitra Chatterjee wrote a book on his long association with Satyajit Ray. What was the name of this book and of its English translation? I'll take either. If you give me either, I'll take it. It's Yamuna House's question. Direct.
Ma'am, Aditi.
Yes, Aditi?
Ma'am, The Master and I.
That's right. The book is called The Master and I, plus 10 to Yamuna. In Bangla, the book is called Manik Dar Shonge, because Manik was Satyajit Ray's pet name. So what letter are we getting here, Kaushik sir? Let us see. You get an I. So we are halfway through this special round and you have collected 4 letters, right? Now the next question going to Brahmaputra. Here is your question.
Ma'am, if anyone wants to guess at this stage, they can guess.
Any house?
If they want to take the risk of plus 50 or minus 20, the choice is theirs.
Director
At any
ma'am is
point.
So now
trying
we will
to
get the
make you.
marks, ma'am. If we give the answer, we will get the marks now only, ma'am.
Yes, you'll get the answer now only, Noiri. However, if it's wrong, you will get minus 20. Director ma'am is trying to lure you all into
Ma'am,
the.
Indrakshi has, I think, swallowed the bait. She has her hand raised.
Oh dear. Okay, Indrakshi, are you going to try to give us the answer?
Ma'am, will it be Satyajit?
Are you asking me or are you telling me?
Ma'am, I'm telling you.
You're telling me. Well, Indrakshi has swept it away and she has got the plus 50 for Ganga House because the answer was none other than Satyajit Ray. Satyajit, that was the answer, and she's got the plus 50 for her house because we just completed the centenary of Ray. Next question coming up for Brahmaputra. This is a crime series that was created and directed by Mayank Sharma. This was Abhishek Bachchan's debut in the OTT platform. And the question is for Brahmaputra House. What's the name of the series? It was a brilliant series.
Ma'am, it is Ajita and Shreyansh.
Ajita, go for it.
Breathe into the shadows.
Absolutely right. Actually, the first one was called Just Breathe, and the second one was Breathe into the Shadows. But brilliant answer, Ajita. And that girl was phenomenal in Breathe into the Shadows. And Abhishek Bachchan took it away. So plus 10 going for Brahmaputra.
And the show was actually quite scary. I watched it. It was kind of scary also.
It was scary because you didn't know what was going to happen, right, Orkayu?
Right.
And let's not spill the beans here because there might be many people who haven't watched it. So
Yes,
let's give them a chance to watch it. I have seen both, but it's
very
phenomenal.
Ma'am, is it a movie or a series?
It's a series, and I think it's on Amazon Prime. The next one coming up now, the next question. The letter was T, but that doesn't matter anymore. Ganga, it's your question. A family drama. The story of this film revolved around a dysfunctional family of 3 women. What is the name of this film? It's a 2-part question. What is the name of the film and which famous actor made her Netflix debut in this film? Ganga, it's your direct.
It's Indrakshi again.
Indrakshi is sweeping the quiz. Yes, Indrakshi, what are the 2 answers I'm looking for?
Tribhanga.
Yes. And which actor made her debut on Netflix? You got a +5 for Tribhanga.
Ma'am, Angelina is also ready to answer.
But Angelina is in another house, isn't she?
Yes, ma'am. Angelina is
right. We have to wait. Any answer for the other part? Indrakshi? Prisha's in Indus. I'll go to her. Indrakshi, no answer for the second part. Okay. We are moving to Indus for the second part. She's given the first part. The name of the film was Tribhanga.
Ma'am, so she gets 5 points?
Yes, ma'am. Arpana ma'am, Shreya ma'am, 5 points for Ganga. And I need the name of the actor. Indus, are you going for it?
Yes,
Prisha, you
ma'am.
had your hand raised. Yeah.
Ma'am, Kajol Mukherjee.
She doesn't use the Mukherjee. She just is known famously as Kajol. And you're right, her maiden surname was Mukherjee. She's now married to Ajay Devgan. And Kajol made her Netflix debut on the OTT platform with this brilliant film. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. It's a lovely film where we have Tanvi Azmi playing the mother and Kajol the daughter. And I think that girl is some Thakur.
Mithila.
I forget her. That's right, Mithila Thakur.
Mithila Palkar.
Right. So the letter coming up from here was J, from Kajol's name, J, but that doesn't matter now because we've already got the big answer. The next question, now we move to Indus House. One of my favorite series on the OTT at the moment. It's an Indian thriller which features none other than Manoj Vajpayee as Shrikant Tiwari working as an intelligence officer. Prisha, I saw you first.
Family Man. Family
Sorry?
Man. Family
Yes,
Man.
it's the family man, and Manoj Vajpayee just pulls off that role with tremendous brilliance. +10 to Indus. Well done,
Excuse me,
Prisha. It's
ma'am.
obvious that you watch a lot of OTT like me. You have revealed that here in the quiz, but no harm. If you're doing everything else and letting down your hair once in a while and watching the web series, well, I am your partner in crime.
Ma'am.
The last question.
It has two seasons and the second one is better.
You think the second one is better? I found the first one better.
No, it
Yes,
has a
ma'am.
little more suspense.
Ma'am,
You were saying something.
Arush and Noirit have their hands raised.
Please switch off
No,
your
ma'am.
buttons,
I
children.
wanted to say the answer. That's why.
Ma'am, I
Yes,
want to
switch
say
it
a
off
fun
now.
fact about it, ma'am.
All right, Noirit, switch off the raise hand now.
Ma'am, actually, I want to say a fun fact about the second session of this film, ma'am. About
yes, what is it?
Ma'am, about here, ma'am. the directors, the two directors who are main here are from Bollywood, and others are the dubbing directors from the Tollywood, ma'am. So that's why, ma'am, here Samantha actually, I forgot the title, ma'am. So actually, ma'am, she is very weak in Hindi translation, ma'am. So for the help, ma'am, most of the dialogues are taken in Telugu, but they are dubbed in Hindi, ma'am. Here for
So
Samantha
it's
Academy.
obvious that Noirit has done an enormous amount of research about The Family Man Part 2. And I agree with him that there is an enormous amount in Part 2, which is all in Tamil and Telugu, because Samantha Akinini, as is the famous actress from the South, she cannot really speak Hindi. So they kept her to the original because she was actually enacting the role of a suicide bomber who is from the Tamilam. Right. The last question of this round going to Yamuna House. That was the word. Okay. This is an action thriller. He's one of my favorite actors on screen in the OTT. This series was directed by Neeraj Pandey and features KK Menon as Himmat Singh, a member of RAW, the Research and Analysis Wing of the Government of India, who tracks down the mastermind of terror attacks in the country. I need the name of the series. Yamuna, it's your direct. Arush, you can put your hand down. It's not your direct.
Ryan, it's not Brahmaputra yet. Please.
Ma'am, Samara has raised hand from Yamuna.
Yes, Samara?
I'm special OPS.
OPS. Are you sure?
Ma'am,
Yes.
she's saying the letters OPS.
Yes, ma'am.
But
Special OPS.
OPS, right. It's operations actually. Plus 10 to Samara for her house. Samara, but I cannot see you. You better adjust your camera, child.
Okay, ma'am.
So it's the special ops, and the letter coming from here was the actual first letter of Satyajit Ray's name, the S. But Indrakshi had already clinched it in the middle of the round. So we had a plus 50 for them and for Ganga House. And I think all the houses have scored brilliantly in round 3. Shreya ma'am, shall we do the scores at the end of round 3, please?
Yes, ma'am. After round 3, Brahmaputra is at 35. Ganga has completed their century with 105. Yamuna is at 45. Sorry, Indus is at 45. And Yamuna is close at 40.
All right. Thank you so much, Shreya ma'am, for doing that so meticulously. Well, we are past noon and we are nearing lunchtime. And you know, when it's near lunchtime or otherwise also, your quizmaster is a great foodie. I can't do without food. So in a quiz that I will conduct and that will be, curated by our director, Mrs. Prasad, you can be rest assured that there will be a food round. So the next round that is coming up for all of us, food, glorious food. Just look at that thali. Aren't you all feeling hungry?
Yes,
Look at
ma'am.
those.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
Yes,
yes,
ma'am. Extremely
absolutely.
hungry.
Ma'am, I am
But
feeling a
we
lot of
have to
food.
wait for lunchtime. But before that, let me tell you a bit about this round. You know,
Ma'am,
in this, yes,
ma'am,
ma'am.
if you can ask them to identify the cuisine from the thali, that will tell them both about the round.
No, ma'am, I will not give them any more clues. Let's see what they can do with it themselves. This round is divided into two parts, children. You know, our cuisine in Bengal, there is a very, very strong non-vegetarian component to our food, and there's a very, very rich, diverse vegetarian component to our food. So, you know, as Mrs. Prasad is vegetarian and I am a hardcore non-vegetarian, we decided to believe in the principle of equality from the French Revolution. So we said, all right, there are going to be 4 non-veg questions and there are going to be 4 vegetarian questions. You see, we like playing fair and square. So what did we do? We said, fair enough. Let the first part of the affair be a tad fishy. So let's see what's coming up. We'll begin with Yamuna House. Your fishy affair with me begins now. Kaushik sir, right. This is a particular shiny fish, very, very tiny in size, that we find being sold in the bazaars of Calcutta. What is this fish called? Yes, Aditi, are you a fish eater?
Yes, ma'am.
You are? Oh, great. Do you know this fish, Aditi?
Ma'am, in English is it called whitebait?
Well, I'm not looking at the English name, sweetheart. I am a Bengali to the core. What do you think it's
Ma'am,
called in our bazaars?
ma'am, can I say?
Ma'am, it's Noirit.
But, ma'am, I think we'll pass it to the
Ma'am,
next
she gave the
house.
English one. It's
I know.
okay. You
Okay,
can
Noirit,
allow the Bengali.
do you know the Bangla name, Noirit?
Ma'am,
Try.
puti mach.
No, this is not putti mach, Noirit. You'll have to tell mummy to buy you this fish. Yes, it's white bait. Fine, I'll give the plus 10 to Yamuna. Anyone in the four teams knows the Bangla name?
Morola?
More or less.
Who was that? Oh God, everyone is
Ma'am, I
going for
did.
it.
Ma'am,
All
I
right,
did.
everyone knows. If you haven't had it, you must have Morola Mach Bhaja with nice hot steaming white rice and a
Ma'am,
lovely
actually,
dal.
ma'am,
Ma'am, I've eaten it, ma'am. I used to like it, and ma'am, now it's so hard and pricey. I don't like it too much. But I've eaten
I
it.
never eat small fish. Like these fishes, never.
Oh, Prisha, but
ma'am,
you should try,
actually,
because if you fry it
identifying
nice and
fish,
proper,
Ma'am, actually, the problem with me is I want to take out every single bone, whether it is the smallest one or not. So then it becomes too tough.
I understand. Well, each to each his own. Everyone switch off your raised hand. The next question will be going to Inda's house. I told you we are indulging
ma'am,
in a very, very fishy affair. Noirit, later, please. The next picture coming up for Indus. Yes, Prisha,
Ma'am,
you've
lote
gone
mach.
raised hand. Yes, Prisha?
Lote mach.
Oh, wow. She sure knows her fish. It's lote or loita, as they call it across the Podda. Plus 10 going to Prisha. She sure knows her fish. Well done for Indus. The next one coming up on screen, Kaushik sir for Ganga House. You know, the preparation on the left is called Ganga Jamuna. And this fish has a very strong connection with Bangladesh and West Bengal. What is the name of this fish? Yes,
Ma'am,
Indrakshi.
Indra.
Koi mach.
Indrakshi says everything with a very straight face, but she knows her stuff like nobody's business. You know, Prisha, this is the fish which is full of bones, if you ask me. This is the one I have never
Yes,
successfully
ma'am. Ma'am,
managed to
this and
have.
I feel like this is tied with Ilish match for bones also. Both have so many
No,
bones.
but you know, Orkayu, I would say this one is tougher.
Yes, ma'am. Like I've
Ma'am,
eaten
I
it
have
once
only eaten
and it
two
was
ma'am,
very
fishes
good.
in my
inside
life,
is,
Rui mach.
ma'am,
And
inside
Okay,
is,
everyone not talking at the same time. We'll maintain online decorum. The last of the fishy affair going to Brahmaputra House. Your picture coming up on screen now. Yes, Brahmaputra, it's yours. I love this.
Ma'am,
Ajita,
Magur mach.
once more, Ajita.
Magur mach.
Very good. Magur March it is. And let me tell you one thing, children, from my own personal experience. This is a grandmother's tale, but it is true. When someone falls very, very sick, this is the fish that is given to that person to recover or recuperate faster. It is full of vitamins and minerals, and it is nothing other than Magur March, as Ajita said. So, children, 4 questions completed. The fishy affair ends here. The affair with regard to the vegetarian side of our Bangla cuisine begins now.
ma'am, Angelina needs to put her raised hand button down.
Angelina, will you do the needful, please?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. Thank you, Angelina. Next question going to Yamuna House. All vegetarian preparations of the rich, diverse Bengali cuisine coming up on screen for you now. Very well loved Bengali vegetarian delicacy. It is made with unripened jackfruit, which is called tree goat. I'll use the Bengali translation. They call it gach patha. And that is the key ingredient. It is made with chunks of potatoes cooked in mustard oil with the traditional spices and finished off with a dollop of ghee. The question is for Yamuna House. What is this preparation called?
Children from other houses, please don't raise your hands now because
Ma'am,
it gets very
Rishikesh has
confusing.
raised hand.
It's Noirit.
Ma'am, will I tell the Bengali name, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, I think it is Pathar Chochori.
No, it's not that. I'll pass the question to Indus.
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, Prisha, go ahead.
Ma'am, Echore Dalla.
Prisha is a girl after my own heart. She loves her food and she's got it absolutely right. It's echore dalla. Ripened jackfruit is called kathal and unripened jackfruit is called echor, from which this brilliant delicacy is made. +5 to Indus House. The next direct coming to you, Indus House, it's yours.
Man, Rishikesh needs to put his raised hand button down.
Rishikesh, please put it down. Yes, sir. Please change the slide. Delicious fried hot fritters with white poppy seeds, green chilies, onions, and black cumin. Yes, Prisha, before I can even finish
Post,
the question, your hand goes
poster,
up. Come again,
poster
Prisha.
boda. Poster boda.
Postur Bora, well done, girl. She is a foodie. Prisha, you and I must meet for lunch very soon outside. Once the pandemic is over, you really know your food. So +10 going to Indus House. The next question going to Ganga. And here is your picture on screen. A traditional Bengali preparation with enormous health benefits. It has plantain blossoms as its key ingredient, cooked with potatoes and aromatic spices. It seems as that phraseology over seems like you're having, um, you know, uh, it's like a love affair between all the vegetables over there. Plantain blossoms and all that, and aroma and everything. Yes, Ganga House, it's your direct.
Ma'am, it's Orkayu.
Orkayu, do you love your Bangla food as much as I do?
Yes, ma'am. But I'm actually more of a non-veg, so I'm not very confident. But let's see, ma'am. I think it's going to be mocha.
Mocha, but mocha ki?
Ma'am, I think it could be mocha, but I'm not sure because I'm not at all a big veg person.
Okay, this was your direct, right?
Yes, ma'am. My direct.
Okay, let me see if I get the full answer from Brahmaputra and I'll come back and give you my decision. Brahmaputra House, can you give me the name of the
Ma'am, may I?
dish?
Ma'am,
Yes,
may I?
Ajita. Yes, Ajita.
Thorer Ghonto.
মোচরের ঘন্ট নয়, মোচার ঘন্ট. So I'll give +5 to Ganga and +5 to Ajita's Brahmaputra House. It's mochar ঘন্ট. For saying mocha, I think Orkayu, you get the points, and I'm really pleased to see that you children at least know all our traditional vegetables. The last question of this round going to Brahmaputra House, your direct coming up on screen now. This is a delicious Bengali recipe made with roasted eggplants and mustard oil.
Ma'am, Angelina.
Okay, Angelina, go for it.
ম্যাম বেগুনের ভর্তা
বেগুনের ভর্তা বা বেগুন পোড়া, as they say it in either side of Bengal, but +10. Well done, children. As we said, believing in the principle of equality, we gave you 4 vegetarian and 4 non-vegetarian dishes. If you haven't tried any of them, not dishes, 4 fish and 4 lovely vegetarian dishes, do tell mummy to make you one tonight. The last question coming up now for the audience in this round. It's a sitter of a question. It's very much of the season as it's been raining this whole month through and Calcutta has been submerged. Well, let's go for it, Koshik sir. We are getting ready for lunchtime.
Ma'am, can I say?
Yes, Shukonna, you say, because
Ma'am,
you
this is
were the first
Chorche
one.
Ilish.
Absolutely. The classic dish, shorshe ilish, cooked with an enormous amount of mustard paste and mustard oil, and it really tickles the taste buds of connoisseurs of this fish, though I am not a great fan of it. But well done, Shukonna, for the audience. So, sadly enough, food, glorious food, comes to an end. and we move into the final round of the quiz this afternoon. I hope everyone's having a brilliant time because I'm enjoying doing this for you. The last round of the quiz, now beginning with Brahmaputra House. As we are on the threshold of Independence Day, we are just about a week away. We thought we would end it with a salute to our motherland, Mother India, and it is
I'm sorry.
we who make this nation. So before we start with this round, I would request Shreya ma'am to give us the scores.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, after round 4, Brahmaputra is at point 60, Ganga leading at 120, Indus at 70, Yamuna at 50.
Thank you so much, Shreya ma'am. So it's anybody's game for the second position in the quiz. Indrakshi took it away for her house, but well done, Indrakshi, I must say. So saluting our motherland, we have this round where, please hear me carefully, children. And Shreya ma'am and Arpana ma'am, you also please listen to me. The scoring is a little different in this round. Every question has three parts. So if the team gets the answer with the first clue that is on screen, the team gets a plus 20. If they don't get it with the first clue and they want to take the second and they get it, they get a plus 10. And if they get it on the third clue, then they get a plus 5. And if they don't get it in all three clues and it passes as a bonus, it's a standard plus 5 bonus mark. Is it okay, Shreya ma'am and Arpana ma'am? Right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So Brahmaputra House, beginning with you, the first clue for Independence Day comes to you now. Isolated from the mainland, Veer Savarkar and many other freedom fighters were incarcerated there. I have a two-part question. You need to name this infamous prison, and the other part is you need to tell me where it is located. Ryan, I saw your hand going up first.
Ma'am, the
It's
first
yours.
one is going to be cellular jail. In Hindi, it is known as Kala Pani ka jail. And
Absolutely. And the
the
second
second
part,
one is going to be Andaman Nicobar Islands. It was separated from Indian mainland, so the prisoners could not get away that easily.
Ryan, I've always said you always warm my heart because your answers are so well in place. He's got it in the first clue. So Arpana ma'am and Shreya ma'am, he's got the answer. It is the cellular jail. And let's have a look at the second clue. What Ryan, Kaushik sir, second clue. Can we go back to the slide? Yes. Ryan gave it in his answer, and I'm so happy he did. It was known as Kalapani because if anyone was banished there, they would never come back. And many of our freedom fighters were put there. And the last clue, Kaushik sir, that's the exquisite picture that we have today of the cellular jail, but it wasn't so beautiful or exquisite at that point of time. And it has seen the death of many of our famous freedom fighters. It's the cellular jail in Port Blair at the Andamans. Plus 20 to Brahmaputra House, Ryan. That was very well done for your house. The next one coming up for Ganga. Your first clue coming up on screen now. She was the first woman president of the Indian National Congress. You want to give an answer? Anyone from Ganga? Yes,
Ma'am, Orca you.
Orkai.
I'm Sonia Gandhi.
No. First
No.
woman president of the Indian National Congress. All right. Ma'am, should we
No,
pass this to the next house or do we
Yes,
give them
ma'am.
the other
Because
clues?
no, because if they've taken a guess, the house finishes their chance.
Right. So the question passes with the first clue to Indus. First woman president of the
Ma'am,
Indian
may I?
National Congress. Yes,
Ma'am, may
Priya.
I?
Ma'am, Sarojini Naidu, also known as the
Great
Nightingale
going,
of India.
Prisha. Absolutely. Kaushik sir, let's look at the second clue, please. She was a follower of Gandhi and was arrested for participating in the Dandi March of the Salt Satyagraha. She later became the governor of the United Provinces in 1947. And what Prisha already said, third clue, she was known as the Nightingale of India, and that's one of my favorite poems ever in the bazaars of Hyderabad. Well, that was Sarojini Naidu, so a plus 5 going to Indus House.
Yes, ma'am. Even I was thinking of Sarojini Naidu, but I just couldn't get the confidence.
No problem, Orca. You happens in quizzing. Right. The next direct going to Indus. This is your first clue coming up on screen now. Kasturba Gandhi and Mahadev Desai, who was the secretary of Mahatma Gandhi, both died here and their samadhis are located here. Any guesses for this first clue, or do we go to the second Indus?
Ma'am, could we get a second?
Absolutely. Clue 2, sir. This is a majestic building and it was built by Sultan Muhammad Shah III to provide employment to the famine-struck
Ma'am,
villagers in the surrounding region. Yes, Prisha.
Aga Khan Palace, Pune.
Absolutely right, Prisha. Well done. You get a +10 for your house. It's none other than the famous Aga Khan Palace in Pune. Sir, let's look at the clue, third clue. There you are. That's the Aga Khan Palace. And Mahatma Gandhi was imprisoned here for a while when he was on a fast. So that's +10 to Indus. The last question of the quiz coming up now for Yamuna House. You need to identify this famous monument. It's obviously a close-up of the monument. Do you all want the second clue, children?
Ma'am, Rishikesh has raised hand.
Yes, ma'am. Rishikesh, would you have an answer for us?
Ma'am, this might be the iron pillar near the Qutub Minar.
Well, I'm sorry, that's an incorrect answer, Rishikesh. It doesn't look anything made of iron, and the iron pillar doesn't have such a strong base. We move with the question to Brahmaputra House. Brahmaputra, do you want a second clue?
Ma'am, Ryan raised hands.
Ryan, do you want the second clue or you want to go
No,
for it?
ma'am. Ma'am, with this only.
Okay, Ryan, go for it.
And this is Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar, very much near to the Golden Temple.
Ryan, I have a question for you. Do you like history?
No, I'm not like history. Actually, I visited all these places.
Wonderful. Ryan gets it for his house and he gets the +5 bonus for Brahmaputra. Kaushik sir, let's look at clue 2. There you are. That's the memorial in Jallianwala Bagh. And clue 3, that's the infamous well at Jallianwala Bagh and the bullet marks as the innocents died when General Dyer's forces opened fire on the innocent people who had gathered there on 13th April 1919. And Ryan's answer was absolutely correct. It was the Jallianwala Bagh Memorial. That brings us to the end of the quiz this afternoon. I hope you had lots of fun because we had lots of fun preparing this quiz for you. I don't think I can go away without saying what I need to say now, and that is that this quiz would definitely not have been possible without the tremendous support and help from Mrs. Prasad, our director. She enjoys quizzing, she loves working for children, and amidst her extremely busy schedule, she never says no to us when it comes to preparing a quiz for all of you. So I think you all need to do this and clap silently for Mrs. Prasad first. Shall we all do that? Everyone, all the children, come on, we can all do that.
Thank
This
you
is
very
silent
much.
clapping,
Thank you
right?
so much. Thank you.
And I have to say this, it's been absolutely a pleasure because two teachers who are missing here, but because they have classes with the other sections of the school, that's Khadija ma'am and Rajashri ma'am, they did all the groundwork for me for preparing the Google form for your uh, preliminary round of the quiz. We gave them the questions, but they did all the groundwork. Sadly enough, they're taking classes and they are very sad they couldn't be part of it, but we couldn't have never done it without them. I thank Shreya ma'am and Arpana ma'am for keeping scores so very kindly and joining us for the quiz. And a special thank you to Kaushik sir. Kaushik sir, you need to make yourself visible to all of us. Please put on your camera and say hello to all our children and teachers present here, because without Kaushik sir, I don't think this quiz would have been possible. He's been in school from the morning. He did the Spell Bee finals for the juniors, and he has hosted the technical side and supported us for the senior quiz. So a big thank you to you, Kaushik sir. Thank you very much, Kaushik sir. It was a real pleasure doing this with you. Before I hand over to Director Ma'am, Children, may I request all of you to put on your cameras, because I think it would be nice if you could tell us whether you enjoyed the quiz, and you can do it with a 1 thumbs up, you can do it with 2 if you would like. So over to you, Director Ma'am, because I think you should always have the last word.
Yes, thank you very much. I think you've already done the honors, Priyadarshi ma'am, for everyone. But we all know who made this whole quiz possible and so much fun. So let's all of us, wherever you are, please stand and let's give a resounding round of applause to Priyadarshini ma'am for being such a wonderful host. So everyone, come on, let's give her a standing ovation, which we would have in the auditorium. So wherever you are, just let's stand and give ma'am a huge round of applause. And maybe Kaushik sir can get this picture as well. So thank you very much, ma'am, and thank you everyone. And with that, I think curtains come down on Sangam 2021. So children, I hope you've had 3 days of a lot of fun, a lot of participation, lots of creativity. And now all of you, please keep a lookout for the results. For all the events, we will be putting up the scores, the results, comments from judges, lots of interesting things to look out for. So please check on our Facebook page and on the school app. We will be posting the results tomorrow. And till then, from all of us, we are signing off on Sangam 2021 with this quiz. So thank you to everyone. It's only because of you children that this makes it all worthwhile. So it's over to Shreya ma'am to announce the final scores.
Thank you, ma'am. The final scores of Brahmaputra is 85, Ganga is at 120, Indus 85, Yamuna 50. So there's a tie between Brahmaputra and Yamuna at
I think
85.
this is a replication of the spell bee in the morning with 6 and 7. We had a tie. So, children, we will not break any tie. We will give equal points to the houses that have tied for the second position. So, thank you so much, children. It's been absolutely wonderful. Until we meet again, hopefully not virtually, but in the school auditorium, in the classrooms, in the garden for Sangam 2022. And thank you so much, the IT department, Kohinoor sir, Bhagwan sir, and Shajul sir, for always supporting all our online programs. Thank you, children. Thank you, teachers.